Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to episode number 40 of the Cleveland Indians franchise here on MLB The Show 21 for the PlayStation 5. As today, the Cleveland Indians look to potentially clinch that playoff spot. We got a home series against the Kansas City Royals and a 4-game home series against the Chicago White Sox. So if you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. Zach Plesac takes them out for the first game against Kansas City. As if we do good in both these series, specifically against the White Sox, because they're right behind us in the wild card, we could potentially get a playoff spot today. First batter for Kansas City singles into a left field, so that'll start off the day with a base runner. Bringing up the speedy Kyle Isbell up next, but he will go down on a full count changeup, strikeout number 1. Whit Merrifield, who's been cooling off a little bit in the month of September, he is up next, and he goes around on the check swing, so that's strikeout number 2. And then Jorge Solaire strikes out as well. So Plesac's all 3 outs are via the strikeout. Lefty Mike Minor will take them out for Kansas City, making his 31st start on the season. Having a pretty solid ERA, pretty solid season. Ahmed Rosario, like always, will lead off for Cleveland. And 2-2 gets a fastball. Hits it into right center. This one is going to get down in the gap. And Ahmed is pretty speedy. So he's going to round second and go all the way to third. And Cleveland starts off their day with a lead-off triple. That would be Ahmed's 7th triple of the season. Naylor up next. Fastball. Turns on it early. This one's going to go to right. It's going to be deep enough to tag the runner. So in 2 batters, Cleveland has the first run of the ball game. 1-0 Indians. Francisco Reyes is in the lineup today, and he will draw a 4-pitch walk. So he'll take first base. Minor struggling in the early going. And then Eddie cannot turn on the high fastball, so he'll pop it up behind the plate. And we'll finally take a look at this Cleveland Indians squad today. We've seen the first 4 batters of the day. So coming up next in the 5-hole will be Lupo, followed by Miller, Jimenez, Perez, and Hedges. Francisco Reyes is in center field today. He does lead the Indians in RBI. Still looking to get those 3 more for RBI number 100. Currently sitting at 97 on the season. Jordan Lupo up next. He looks at a fastball that hits this outside of the plate, so that'll be strike 3. And that'll take us to the top of the 3rd, where Bubba Starling, who's hitting way better in the month of September. Kansas City prospect strikes out, though, so Plesac picking up right where he left off in inning number 1. That's his 5th strikeout of the day. Lucius Fox, I love that name, is up next at the plate. He's not going to strike out, and we'll finally see some play in the infield, as that'll be a 5-3 putout. Back to the top of the lineup, Eric Mejia, who has the only hit so far today for Kansas City. He's going to do the exact same thing. It's going to be a 5-3 putout for him as well. So we're going to go bottom 5 now. Roberto Perez will start it off here for Cleveland. He's 0 for 1, struck out back in the 2nd. 1-0 pitch to Perez. He gets a high fastball. He turns on it to deep left field. However, not deep enough, as that one's going to be caught for out number 1. Both pitchers settling in the early going. However, Austin Hedges up next will draw a walk. So that'll put him on first base for Ahmed Rosario, who turns perfectly on a pitch. Hits it into the gap. It's nicely cut off, and that'll keep Cleveland from scoring another run, as it's a 1-out double. Naylor up next. On the first pitch he sees, he hits this one perfectly to left. It's deep, so they're going to try to tag. However, they're going to try to tag third and home, but they get in there safely. Ahmed barely beats the throw. Very aggressive going for third, but it makes it 2-0 Cleveland. And that's how it'll be after 5 innings, as Reyes will ground out to end the inning. Next inning, Scott Barlow comes in for Kansas City. He's making his 73rd appearance. First batter he sees is Eddie Rosario, and on the very first pitch of the inning, he blasts one deep to right field. No doubt about that one. Eddie with the bat flip goes 442. His 25th home run of the season is hit down right field. There was no question that one was getting out of here. Perfectly timed swing is a sweet thing indeed. So that's now 3-0 Cleveland. Next batter up, Jordan Lupo, 2-2. He can't connect on the slider, so he will go down swinging. Owen Miller up next, 2-0 Miller, and he hits this one up the middle, and it cannot be fielded cleanly by Lucius Fox, so he'll reach first base, and they will indeed say that's a base hit. Next up, Jimenez, 3-1, is late on a fastball. However, this one will bloop into left field. Runners were going, so now we got back-to-back hits. Brings up Roberto Perez, who will strike out on a pitch in the dirt. Nobody advances. So now 2 outs to Austin Hedges. 0-1 to Hedges, and he hits this one down the third base line, and it's fair, and it's going to be a run. Runner comes around third, heads home, and Hedges has another RBI. He's been swinging quite the hot bat for us in the past couple of weeks. Unfortunately, next up is Ahmed Rosario, and he will fly out to shallow right to end the 6th. But now we're going to go top 7, where Zach Plesac is still in the ball game. Only at pitch number 77, but he does give up a leadoff base hit, but I think that is only the second hit of the ball game for Kansas City. Put Merrifield up next. First pitch swinging, pop up into right. That'll help him go a little further as 1 pitch, 1 out. How about Jorge Solaire? Full count to Solaire. Plesac does not get the call, so Solaire will take first base. Runners now on first and second for Hunter Dozier. And on a full count pitch, he blasts one deep to center field. However, Reyes is there. That'll be caught, so they will tag and go to third. So now we have runners on the corners, 2 outs. There's Ryan McBroom now. 2-2 to McBroom. Chopper up the middle. Plesac has it, and he goes 7 strong innings. Nice game by Plesac. So now we're going to go to the 9th, where Nick Whitgren will come in relief. It's not a save situation, so we will not see Karinchak today. First batter from Whitgren is an 0-1 pitch. That's a changeup hit right at Eddie and left. Then Kyle Isbell up next. First pitch swinging as well. He's going to chop this one over to shorts. Miller has it. That's out number 2. So it's going to be up to Whit Merrifield to extend the game. 1-1 to Merrifield. Pops up a fastball in the infield. Kansas City gets blanked, and Cleveland walks away victorious in Game 1 by a final score of 4-0. Great dominant pitching performance, even though we're not really surprised to see that from this Cleveland Indians squad, one of the best pitching teams in all of baseball. And they pick up another win, marching even closer to their hopes of clinching a postseason today. Only 2 hits for Kansas City. Cleveland had 4 on 8. Minor gets the loss. Plesac gets the win. And he also gets player of the game. 7 1/3 innings, only 2 hits given up. No earned runs, and 8 Ks as well. So we go to the second game. We see that our AAA squad did clinch a postseason berth. So that's exciting. And our AA Rubber Ducks. So both of our AA and AAA squads are going to the postseason. So technically we did clinch a playoff spot today. Game 2, we do beat Kansas City 2-1, so another low-scoring affair. And before we get into Game 3, we're going to make a roster move. Brian Rocchio is finally healthy, the 19-year-old middle infielder from Venezuela. So we're going to give him a shot. I know he hasn't been hitting that good in AAA, but we need some infield depth, specifically with Yu Chang going out. So we're going to give him his first appearance in the majors today. Will Benson, who was called up last episode, will go down, and we win in Game 3 by a score of 3-1 again. Rocchio's first day, he went 0 for 3 with a strikeout. So we'll pick up in a 4-game series against Chicago. Tristan McKenzie, Ronaldo Lopez, the top 2 wildcard teams going at it in a 4-game squads or series. So this could have big ramifications on who gets that top wildcard spot, who has to continue to fight for their postseason berth. We will see Brian Rocchio today for Cleveland, so that's kind of exciting as you can take a look at the wild card standings here. Minnesota is 4.5 up on us, so they're getting closer to clinching, but we have a 4.5 game lead on the White Sox, who have a 1-game lead over Tampa Bay. So we are 5.5 safely in the wild card. Tristan McKenzie, we saw a lot this week. We will see him again as he makes appearance number 30 on the season. Still looking to get that ERA a little bit down. Top prospect Nick Madrigal for Chicago will lead off. 0-2 for him, and he will start off the day with a base hit into right center. That one is corralled by Ahmed. He throws it in. Leadoff single. Next up, Adam Eaton, who's come back to Chicago and has played very well. However, he does hit into a 3-6-3 double play here. And we'll take a look at Chicago's lineup today. After Eaton in the lineup, we will see Eloy Jimenez, the DH, followed by Luis Robert, who has been the best hitter, the second best average in all of the American League. Jose Abreu, the All-Star Yasmani Grandal, Yohan Moncada, Lurie Garcia, and Mickey Matuk will be in left field today. The DH, Eloy Jimenez, up next, strikes out on a fastball. Nice pitch by McKenzie. So nothing in the top of the first for Chicago. For the mound for the White Sox will be Ronaldo Lopez, the former top prospect, who has never really blossomed into everything he can be. Still a 5.30 ERA on this season. Gotta wonder how much patience Chicago is going to have left. First batter, Ahmed Rosario, will strike out on the drop third strike, bringing up Josh Naylor. And a 1-0 pitch, he turns on a fastball, hits it deep to right field. However, this one is not deep enough, and someone's caught for the second out. And you look at Cleveland's lineup today, a lot of the same. We'll see Eddie and then Lupo. Big difference, Brian Rocchio will be playing third base today. We get to see the prospect for the first time in his second game in the majors. That'll bring up Eddie Rosario, who had that big hit in the first part of the episode. He takes a full count pitch. Nice changeup to hit, but just dribbles it back to Lopez. So both teams are scoreless after one. We'll go bottom third now, where Roberto Perez will lead off, hitting .248 on the season. He will be a free agent after this season. That's something to keep in mind. 2-0 pitch to him. It's a high fastball. He gets jammed, and he will fly out to the foul territory, which means Brian Rocchio will see him for the first time. Hasn't got a base hit yet, but 2-0 gets a nice changeup, but he pops it up a little too much air underneath it, and he will fly out for out number 2. That'll take us to the top of the lineup. Ahmed Rosario up next, 2-0 to him, and he takes a changeup, grounds it to the left side of the infield, so both teams scoreless after 3 innings. Top 4 now, Adam Eaton starting us off for Chicago, gets a nice 95-mile-an-hour fastball, but pops it up to Rocchio for out number 1. Eloy Jimenez up next, 3-2 to Jimenez, and he draws a walk. Doesn't get the call on the outside part of the plate. So that puts a runner on first for Luis Roberts. And the first pitch Luis Roberts sees is a drive to left. No doubt about this one. Tied no longer. As the second leader in batting average in the American League, has home run number 27. A 2-run shot for Chicago will break this tie. And the best hitter on the squad puts the White Sox in the lead. So still 1 out for Jose Abreu now, and he gets a fastball, but he gets a little bit underneath this one too much. Eddie Rosario will be able to get that one, and that'll be out number 2. Yasmani Grandal, the all-star catcher this season, 1-0 pitch. He pops up a fastball as well. So McKenzie gets the next 2 batters to go out, but it's now 2-0 Chicago. McKenzie will go 5 innings, so in the 6th, Cal Quantrill will take over for Cleveland, making his 57th appearance on the season. He's been very good in his innings. He'll start off with the top of the lineup. Nick Madrigal up first, and he lines this one to left, and Eddie takes away a base hit. Nice diving play by Rosario. Madrigal not very pleased. Adam Eaton up next, 0-2. He gets a changeup, and he puts it into center field. So Eaton does reach first base for Eloy Jimenez. 3-1 pitch to Jimenez, and he blasts the fastball deep to left, and just like Luis Robert earlier, this one is gone, almost in the exact same spot. Another 2-run blast for Chicago. Jimenez, 37th home run of the season, one of the top 5 home run hitters in all of the American League. He puts Chicago up 4-0 now, as Cal Quantrill gives up a big blast. Still 1 out, and here is Luis Robert, who was the other one who went yard earlier. He strikes out on a nice slider. And then Jose Abreu, 1-0 to him. He hits it right back up the middle for a base hit. So Cal Quantrill not out of the inning yet. A 2-out single for Chicago brings up Yasmani Grandal. And he gets a fastball and bloops it into left, but Eddie is there. But it's 4-0 Chicago, and this Cleveland offense has been non-existent today. Bottom of the 7th, still no runs, only 1 hit to show for Cleveland today. And that was back in the first inning. Pop up for out number 1. Jordan Lupo up next, 2-2. He goes around on the changeup. So that's the 2nd out of the inning. And that brings up Andres Jimenez. 1-1 to Jimenez. Gets a fastball, pops it up to center. So Cleveland still only 1 hit in the ball game, and we're in the 7th inning. Phil Maton will come in the 8th for Cleveland. He would last till the 9th inning, which is where we'll pick up with him, not having a good 2021 at all. Jose Abreu in the 9th. He will lead off for Chicago. Here's a grounder over to Rocchio. Puts him out at first base. Yasmani Grandal to the plate. 1-1 to Grandal. He hits the other way against the shift. That's a nice piece of hitting. Gets jammed on the fastball, but still puts it into left field up against the wall, and even Grandal will get a double out of that one. So 1-out double for Chicago. That's going to bring up Yohan Moncada. 0-2 to Moncada. Hits it up the middle for a base hit. Grandal will not test the arm of Ahmed Rosario, so that'll put runners on the corners, only 1 away. Luis Garcia up next. He's not going to waste any time. Base hit up the middle into center. Grandal will come and score, and it's now 5-0 Chicago as they extend their lead here in the 9th frame. Mickey Mahtook up next. First pitch swinging. He also gets a base hit. So the damage not done yet. Bases loaded. 1 out. Phil Maton's got to work out of this jam. Top of the lineup, 2. Nick Madrigal. 2-1. Hits it into right. Lupo has it, and they will not test his arm. Probably for good point. Look at that. Nice throw. So now bases loaded. 2 outs for Adam Eaton, who's played pretty good today. And he grounds over to second base. So Chicago only gets 1. But Lopez still in the game in the 9th. We cannot hit him as Rocio grounds out to second. Still only 1 hit in the ballgame. Ahmed Rosario up next. He gets a changeup first pitch. This will get down for a base hit. A gapper to left center. So Ahmed has the second hit of the day. And it couldn't come at a later time. How about Josh Naylor? 1-0 to Naylor. He gets a fastball. He's going to that exact same gap. This one's going to get down. Ahmed's got speed, so he will round third. And in the 9th inning, Cleveland gets their first run of the ball game. They go up 5-1. And on 92 pitches, that'll do it for Reynaldo Lopez. Tony La Russa will come out of the dugouts. And they'll turn it over to the flame-throwing Garrett Crochet, last year's first-round pick out of Chicago. Went to the majors in about 100 days. So Crochet, he is the future of the Chicago bullpen. And we can see why. He throws gas, 100 miles an hour. Eddie doesn't even, he just looks at it. Doesn't even try to swing at it. And then Lupo up next, 1-2, gets absolutely fooled on the slider. Crochet comes in and slams that door completely shut. Chicago wins game 1 of the 4-game series by a final score of 5-1. Thanks to some solid pitching out of that man, Reynaldo Lopez, and some nice hitting by their top 2 power hitters, and Jimenez and Robert. So 5 runs on 11 hits for Chicago, 1 runs on 3 hits, and 1 error for Cleveland. And Lopez will get player of the game. Tristan McKenzie gets handed the loss. So we do lose game 1. And in game 2, we come back and are victorious. So we win 6-5. This time our offense had no trouble waking up as we put up a 4 spot in the first. We get home runs, 2 from Rosario and 1 for Naylor. So that's exciting to see. Game 3, we win 4-0 as we beat Chicago. And in this one, Rocio had his first 2 hits of his career. It's 2 doubles as he went 2 for 4. And before we get to game 4, however, our AAA squad, the Clippers, are eliminated. So that's unfortunate. We couldn't see their playoff run. But in game 4, we do lose 3-1. So they split the 4-game series against Chicago. However, we do reach 90 wins. And so putting ourselves in a pretty good spot. Simulate the bye day, and our Rubber Ducks do advance in the playoffs. So maybe if we clinch a playoff spot, we can take a look at the Rubber Ducks spot. And here's the standings. We are 5 games out of the division, so we will probably not get the division. However, we are 4.5 up on Chicago, who is a half game up on Tampa Bay. So that means we have a 5-game cushion with 6 games to go. So it's looking like, even though we didn't clinch a playoff spot, Cleveland will be making the postseason. Might not be a surprise, but still very exciting to see. We will close out the season next episode with a road trip to Kansas City and Arlington. So if you're excited for that, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. Cleveland is more than likely going to the postseason. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.